Before we get started, please take the time to like, add, and subscribe to our pages on YouTube, Facebook, Spotify, and iTunes. Also, please leave us a review. We can wander our way over, because this is Wandering Ways.
What's Bigfoot possibility? Whether we use this for the actual episode, but it's like
whatever.
a resort.
Yeah, no, my idea, I don't think we're leaving it really.
I don't either. That's why when I was saying and look, you can do like a studio room, which I think this is one of the cheaper ones. But
How much is it?
That's why I was saying
Scroll down. Oh,
I think there'll be like one day, to really get out.
yeah.
If you wanted to do something different. Outside that, I think you could do, because you're right there on Lake Victoria. So that would be cool in and of itself.
Cichlids come from there.
Yeah, but you could check out the beaches around the resort too.
No, but African
and
cichlids,
then
the fish.
Yeah.
That's the only lake in the world they come from.
Well, either that or my fish tank.
Well, yeah, but that's the one.
But yeah, that, and then I figured there one day it would be check out all this stuff YOLO has.
Mm-hmm.
And then there'd be one day where it's you can just do whatever.
Well, when I'm out there with them, I will have a notebook, and kind of like what I had for Iceland, where I'm here's the days. What do you have planned, YOLO? I'll do that too.
Yeah.
But that 2 weeks is going to be here like that.
I know that. And then I think I'm probably going to fly out fairly soon, after the wedding.
Yeah, no, I think that was kind of my plan too.
I think even
day.
Saturday night, I might. Well, because I'm afraid I'm gonna get stuck with those long ass layovers both ways.
Oh, so then you're coming in Tuesday, not Monday.
Yeah, and I have to turn around the following weekend and go to a conference.
Oh, I'm trying to think, because if we fly out, I don't know. I'm not too worried about leaving. It's getting there is more of my where my travel worry anxiety kicks in, I guess.
What are you worried about? Because you're going to Nigeria. You have a whole nother thing.
Yeah, I'm going to go there, and then hopefully I'm on the same flight as YOLO from there. That, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I hope that's the case. All right. Shall we?
We should,
Get into this.
get into it. People probably don't want to hear us talk about Africa all day.
Hey, but they enjoy it. They're along for the ride, right? Because they're gonna hear the story after and before, just like Iceland, man. It's one of those things where we chat it up, we talk it up. But how have you been?
Been good. Busy, but good. A good busy, I'd say. I mean, it was the holidays.
Yeah.
This is gonna come out after the new year. But I think before we talk actually Africa with YOLO. So
So it's kind of a preview to the preview.
yeah. Well,
Sorry.
I mean, the chat with YOLO is a real good one. So
it really is. I'm excited for that one to come out, and for the listeners to listen into it, just because you do learn a lot from our guy. But that's not what we're talking about today. We're talking about the 43rd National Park, Glacier Bay National Park.
Glacier Bay, baby. Hey, we got the same picture.
Yeah, I think you bought the same postcard set as the book, except my book needs to be updated.
Why? Is there more?
Yeah, there's 63 now. This is 59.
Oh, I saw that they're thinking of adding another one that's kind of near Tucson. Um,
Oh, I think I saw
which that looked really cool.
it's native, right? It's native focused, I think, or has some native history. Because I think Deb Hall,
Maybe
I think she's behind it, like really pushing it. Because there's also
it's
that
really
one,
cool rocks. So
right, yeah, and then there's the one in Georgia too. That's possible.
yeah, that one.
But
Um,
what
which would be
I was gonna say, what does subpar? Oh, here's this picture, same kind of picture, just different.
not great. Not great. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't been, but I'm willing to bet that that's a little malarkey. If I'm
Well,
being completely honest, there that because I, looking up the fun facts. I think this would be a lot of fun to go to. I think it's very dramatic kind of landscape. Uh, I think if there's any place that's similar to Iceland, it's gonna be Glacier Bay.
especially the Jokelasor Lagoon. I think it's that because right here, I mean, right here they say maybe this was the same viewer who visited Denali because if over 1,000 glaciers, several of which make the boat you look like a toy that you're on when you go
Yeah.
to plus whales, sea lions, sea otters, puffins. I don't know if that doesn't make it great. What will make it great? Because
Well,
like
not only that, but like one thing I remember about like Glacier, and then I also realized that near Port Angeles has kind of a similar feel. Not Glacier, but Iceland. They're in Port Angeles, and what I'm assuming Glacier Bay would be like, it's the ocean, and then relatively close, massive mountains.
yes, yes,
Um,
and with these glaciers
yeah,
like right there, like
yeah,
spitting out that same way. And I can imagine at different times of the year, those like June, I bet you those glaciers are just ginormous. But then you get there more July, August, then you start to see the like kind of like the ice
yeah,
breaking off and those kind of things. So definitely one of those parks you probably would want to check out if you were to go back, try it in a different season to get that experience. Plus
yeah.
there's wildlife. Um, anytime wildlife, especially whales and stuff, because they're doing that stuff. They're doing the like migrations.
It is. I know it's not going to come out during, but currently, as we're recording this, it's winter whale watching week in Oregon. So they got the rangers or the volunteers out at all the spots to help you spot some whales. So that's fun.
Because they're making their
Um,
migration south, correct? Down to warmer waters and like
no, they
Mexico.
might be heading north.
Oh.
I'm trying to think because it's summer, it will be feeding.
Well, yeah, I guess you're going, yeah, spring.
Yeah,
It's
up to
weird because it's
spring,
like
summer for
right now
the
it's like
for feeding.
I don't know if you know me, but I look at my calendar like a circle, and we're at the very bottom right now because it's like the new year, and then like middle of July is like on top. That's how that's my calendar, how I look at it.
I mean, whatever helps you keep track of your time. I mean, good for you.
So like I'm like, wait a second, we're too low. They got to be over here on the circle for it to be spring. But
But
nah, it'll be good.
yeah, I think Glacier Bay would be really cool. The one thing that kept popping out with all of these fun facts that I kept seeing is so Glacier Bay, the size of Glacier Bay, the park, just the park, is bigger than the state of Connecticut. Um, but only totals up to about 1% of all the land in Alaska.
That is actually really wild because like that's how big
Yeah.
Alaska is. Um,
Yeah.
it says 3.3 million acres of rugged mountains, dynamic glaciers, temperate rainforests, wild coastlines, and deep sheltered fjords.
Yeah, I think I mean, I think this has a lot of everything. Um, it's kind of a classic Pacific Northwest park
Oh
when I'm
yeah.
really starting to, I think it's got a lot of aspects of like an Olympic national park, just Alaska style.
That
Um,
makes sense. No, it totally makes sense because, like you said, you got the mountains and the ocean, which like that's Alaska right there.
yeah,
You think of like Denali or interior Alaska, you think more of the mountains, but then you think of like the coasts. It's interesting though too because we were having this conversation earlier about where it's located, being closer to like Juneau and stuff, more on
mm,
the like coastline, south coastline, southeast, southwest coastline of Alaska. Um, So you have different things there. There's a lot of native history. They even have the Huna tribal house there, which looks really cool, which probably Matt Buddy would know a lot about already without even asking him. Be like, you know the Huna tribal house? He'd be like, yeah, hell yeah, I do. And then you're closer in Alaska terms, you're closer to the one reservation that Alaska has. So makes
yeah,
sense.
yeah, for sure. I mean, and it's so unique. Um, I think because of that, it has all of it, which is, I think, why it's a World Heritage Site. So it's like nationally, through the United Nations, it's declared a World Heritage Site. It's a peace park or a park of peace.
It's one of the
Um,
largest too when you talk about the international heritage sites. It's one of the largest
yeah,
protected like lands and fisheries essentially too. Um,
yeah. So, which I get why, it's the glaciers, which are rather important. A lot of different ecosystems there that probably contribute to a lot more than we really realize.
well, and there's only one developed area there that he's talking about is that Bartlett Cove. And that's kind of where the visitor center is, the exhibits, the headquarters, the public dock, or you can rent kayaks and all that. So it sounds like too, it's also one that you're going to have to like get out and explore in or book a tour. Which is something now that we're getting older, I think with some of these parks, certain ones like the Glacier Bay, I think it would be worth it to say, oh, I am going to book the tour day one and
Yeah,
learn
I
about the
think
park and then do my free stuff later on.
yeah, I think you're using kind of the wrong term. You said now that we're getting older. I think it's more now that we have more money.
Financially
Um,
stable.
yeah, now that we're more financially stable and not doing ramen, not doing PB&Js as
Whoa,
like
whoa,
every
whoa,
no, I'm
whoa.
talking
We're still doing
everyday life, not
PB&Js.
just like traveling. I'm talking everyday life, having to have
Oh, okay.
PB&Js.
All right.
I think now that's now we can go, oh, you know what? Let's do a tour. Like let's treat ourselves type deal. This would be a park though. If I'm going to it, I'm for sure booking one of those tours to get on the with the glaciers,
Yes.
boat tour.
Oh, yes. I think that's the one thing if we would have had more time there in Iceland, that's like at that lagoon. If we would have really, I think that south coast and the east and south essentially of Iceland, if we would have had more time there, I think I would have thought of booking. I
Yeah,
didn't talk about it. I said, "Do you want to do that?" And we're like, "I don't know," um, because it
I
was.
know. I just wasn't sure going into it what we would have time wise
Well, we
there.
really wouldn't have. We showed up
Yeah.
late when we got there. You would have had to been like, "Oh, we're staying here," and then that whole last day would have been something else. We wouldn't have hiked up to the thermal thing. So, definitely one of those. But again, I think this park kind of forces you into that you kind of
I do
have to
too.
like if you want to do that. Another thing I think, I mean, I always bring this up that I would want to try is the fishing. I think I know you fishing in Alaska is a little bit different, but like halibut and shit, like Jared said they had a blast catching halibut because it's just like reeling up a car door off the bottom of the ocean floor.
I believe it.
So it's, which I think that would be cool. Um, you've done like whale watching up in Canada there. So
For
I think
whale watching there, I think would be cool.
especially by the glaciers, like
Yeah.
if especially get them jumping. I not really a birder. I get it. Low key though, as I get older, I'm like, that's a yellow belly wobbler or whatever, right? Like I get into it just a little bit, but not enough to be a true birder. But I could
But you got 20 years before you hit your birding part of your life.
my birding peak.
Yeah, yeah.
They say there's
Everyone
like,
develops birding later in life, so you got 20 years.
oh, there we go. Because there's 274 species there.
Yeah, I mean there's over 40 species of mammals there alone.
Black bear?
Black bear's probably on the list.
Good. I'm glad. Oh, funny.
There might
No,
even be
that's
grizzly or brown bears there.
yeah, because aren't the grizzlies in Alaska only on that one island and they're like a hybrid grizzly?
The Kodiak bears.
Yeah, those fucking most like vicious
Yeah.
in the world. I've not
Well,
seen
no, glacier the difference between a brown and a grizzly is brown bears are typically near saltwater. Um,
oh yeah, yeah.
and grizzlies are more inland. That's really the
That's
only difference between the two. Um, so if you ever are stuck trying to decide, do you see a grizzly or a brown bear, ask yourself how far away the closest saltwater is.
yeah, right. I mean, essentially they got black bears and they call brown bears, also called grizzlies.
Yeah.
And yeah, you're absolutely right. Brown bear is another term for grizzly bears used to differentiate the coastal residents from the interior dwelling grizzly. Brown bears can be any shade from honey blonde to black. They normally weigh up to 900 pounds and can get up to 1,400 pounds. This actually, looking at the website, go to the national park website, they have learn about the park. You go to nature, you go to animals. They have that. And they also have safety. They have a moose, falling ice, giant waves, hypothermia, and bear safety specifically listed out. So
A lot of
definitely
safety.
you're a safety guy.
I am big safety guy. A lot of safety talks have to go to there, I guess.
I mean, you've seen the videos of people interacting with bears in Alaska. Like I could only imagine going up here.
Oh, speaking of people not being smart, I just read this headline. There was a famous celebrity that just got, or he's had his ticket for a while, but he's got his case and all that coming up for being a Turon in good old Yellowstone National Park. He was walking on the hot springs near Mammoth.
Oh, I
Can't
think
be
I saw
doing
that.
that.
I think I saw that video.
For people who are curious who it was, it's uh oh, I'm blanking on the name, but he
Yeah,
played James Bond.
yeah, it was a
He's
famous actor.
yeah, famous
Yeah.
actor.
Yeah.
Brosnan, I believe his
No,
last
yeah,
name.
Alec, the Alec
No, it's not
Frost.
Alec.
Alec.
I want to say Pete, but it's not Pete either.
Yeah,
But
piece of shit. No, I'm
Brosnan,
just kidding.
he's the one. He's Mr. No No. He's or some other people are like one of us, one of us.
I mean, but it's fair though, right? Like you you shouldn't be doing that stuff. You really shouldn't. You shouldn't be going to these things. And that's why with like these places, especially if you're going, like you said, you want to take a tour and go jump up on a glacier, go with the group because that's how you hit the soft spots or the ice spots. I don't know if you've seen that Continent 7 or whatever. I think it's on Disney about Antarctica, but like there's like the guys on those like machines and they every year in Antarctica they map out like here's the soft spots in the ice like you could fall in and die those stakes over there, Mark, where someone did it, But
Yeah,
no, this isn't that. I mean, it is that if you go about it wrong, but there's a lot of good stuff. I'm just looking at their website right now on Glacier Bay. They
yeah,
have a section, what's so special? Wild, resilient, and sacred. It's a place of homeland for the Huna, Tlingit, and Tlingit Tlingit, that's how you say it. The Huna Tlingit, right? Tlingit, Tlingit, I think is how you say that. That's their homeland. It's a place of hope. It's a place of inspiration, a land of dynamic change, and a natural laboratory. So there's a lot of science going on, just like we saw at Hawaii volcanoes. There's a lot of science going on.
Interesting enough, that's part of the reason why it became a park. Is a botanist. Let me look up the name of the bot. I want to give the botanist credit here. It was an American botanist was responsible for the park's preservation. William Skinner Cooper. He was a botanist from the University of Minnesota, and he realized that this was a really good spot to study plants with how they grow once a glacier leaves, because the glacier melts, right? And then the plants grow. So it's a really good place to do that. And so that's why he made a big deal about trying to preserve the area. And then ultimately, it became a park, and then it's a World Heritage Site, Peace Park. All the good, I mean, it borders Canada. So it's a lot of good things that it's brought
A lot of
us, or
history.
it continues to bring.
They even put out the Fairweather Visitor Guide, which I think is hilarious. That's what they call their visitor guide, the Fairweather Visitor Guide. You could go look at that, and it kind of talks about what you're saying. It has like a whole timeline of history of like different people, even Mr. George Vancouver, Captain such as Captain Cook has been up there. Talks about each thing. It's like you said, World Heritage Site, the science, the hiking trails, the guides. Looking at it too, what I think is cool is like you see that Bartlett Cove is right on kind of the coast there, and it's like on the edge, and then like it just goes back. Like they have some areas, like they have some like deep areas where like you can't even take motorized boats. That's how deep it is back there.
I believe it. I mean, Alaska is really cool.
Right.
So I remember this is Katmai's the park I've been to up there, but even the lake that we took to get to the park was huge. And it was, you could go in these little, not inlets, but you can go up to these different parts and go forever. And then there's like even shallower where you could get out and walk up a river and you can see all sorts of stuff. So, I mean, I'm not surprised that there's these massive just areas that you can't go.
Right. No, it makes sense.
The Wild West is full of dangers, from snakes to bears. The outdoorsman must be prepared. That is why when you experience rivers like the San Juan or the Yellowstone, you must bring a blue ribbon net. Handcrafted and biodegradable, these classic wooden fishing nets are all you need while on the river. Make sure to use code RUGAROO10 when checking out at Blue Ribbon Nets. Again, the code is RUGAROO10. RUGARU10.
Oh, kayaking would be cool there.
I would love it.
Can you imagine just
Yes.
kayaking through all
Glaciers.
of the ice and all that? That'd be
Well, because
good time.
my mind immediately goes to um like the Jokola Slor Lagoon, and
In Iceland.
yeah, and I feel like that is how a lot of these would be, just glaciers in the ocean. I mean, obviously each one's gonna be different, but like if you're kayaking around ice floating in water,
Yeah, I
not
agree.
too crazy, but yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I think it would be really cool. But speaking of cool shit in nature time. Um, I got one I've already sent you, but I think it's just hilarious and I think it's awesome. So I'm gonna show you that one second. But this first one's a picture. This is winter in
Oh,
Finland.
I mean, it looks like
Uh,
winter up by like Sealy, but yeah, love it.
I mean, it looks like winter a lot of places, but the name of the photo is Winter in Finland.
I know. In
But
central Finland.
Yeah.
Not
But
to be mistaken with Western Finland.
for everyone, it's just an icy road, snow-covered trees, and a beautiful sunset. It's a very pretty picture.
Oh, it's beautiful. I mean, it looks like I said, it looks like up by Sealy and up by,
Yeah,
I'm sure Mount Hood, you have similar stuff. Like that's Oregon, like that's the shit I like.
for sure. And the
Like,
second one here, I think this is just hilarious.
mm,
So that's I'm putting it in there for the people who are just listening. It's a video of a bear absolutely like mauling an inflatable reindeer. I don't know if it's Rudolph. I know it's a reindeer though.
you're right. I bet you threw it off. I mean, it makes sense that it would have a red nose. But he has a
Yeah.
Christmas decor, which I like too, because oh yeah, I think that's Rudolph. I think I saw a little bit red nose there. But this bear, I love that he's going at it. Um, what is
Yeah.
there another bear there?
There is a second bear, but he doesn't do anything with
He's
the
just
reindeer.
watching. Yeah. But like that's so
Yeah.
cool. I mean, it would be cool to see. I'm trying to see the license plate on that car. I can't really tell what state it is. It's an American state because of the size of the license plate. But probably California. There's no snow on the ground.
Yeah,
But
but those look like brown,
I don't know.
you know?
Like the brown
Like those
bears?
don't look like black bears. So brown or grizzly.
Yeah. But the hump, I don't see a hump on the shoulder.
That's true too. But yeah, I
That's
think that
funny.
that video is hilarious.
Oh,
So
it's so funny because he's just like, wow, and the thing kind of like blows up some more. And like, it's everything you would think of a bear attacking like a yard inflatable.
yeah, it really is. My favorite's the caption for it is the reindeer won.
Well, the bear did walk away and the reindeer still blows up,
Right?
which makes you question, right? Like, if you're that company that made that reindeer, one, I would like to know the durability of that,
It's got to be pretty good because that
you know?
bear was mauling it.
That's what I mean. Like, is that like, did it hold up? If you're that company, I'd be like, are inflatables 100% bear proof?
Not only is it bear proof, but it's realistic that a bear would attack it.
Yeah, I mean, it is real. I mean, but is that like a cat seeing a string? Because I feel like mountain lions and shit. Like, I don't want to try this, but like, I would like to fuck around with a laser pointer and a mountain lion. You know what I mean?
You know what? I have the laser pointer to do it because I have a strong laser pointer to where you could be at a real safe distance. Like you might even be able to be, oh no, you totally at 100
Oh yeah.
yards.
Oh
You
yeah, easy.
could easily. So
You
like
just gotta
you
encounter
if
them.
I put me in a tree stand with this, I might be able to.
No, honestly, bring it next time we're in Glacier or Yellowstone or like a park that has mountain lions. Bring it because like if you ever encounter them, like get it.
Yeah. Well, the laser pointer I have is actually intended for stargazing. So
Yeah,
it's a green light, and you can see the beam, which could be not good if it's a mountain lion because they'll see the beam and see the source of the beam, and then you're
that's true
toast.
too.
But for
That's true.
stargazing, you can see where you're pointing.
I'm sure Josh bought a couple of those back in the day, like those high powered ones that like
Yeah.
shine it and you're like, it's on the rims over there.
Oh yeah, no, I love when I show up to work like really early in the morning, the sun's not out. I'll take it just to see how far I can like I'll be like, oh, way over there. Someone's probably like, what the fuck?
What is this? Point
Yeah.
at someone like on their like heart and like forehead and stuff. Well, you got the dot on you.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
that's funny. You can bring it to Glacier Bay because the bears. We'll see. We'll test it on the bears up there.
Yeah.
But my secrets to the national parks, Nat Geo book talks about the Beardsley Islands. The vast majority of Glacier Bay National Park and preserves visitors arrive on cruise ships, and few venture into the many small inlets and coves. For a semi-secret adventure, rent a kayak in Bartlett Cove and explore Beardsley Island, a complex of about 2 dozen small islands in the lower part of the bay. Take care not to get stranded by tides that can rise up and fall to 25 feet at low tide. Some of the areas of Beardsley's are very shallow and exposed mud flat. Anyone seeking a short adventure can pick their own island, pitch a tent, and experience the sights and sounds of Glacier Bay's wilderness firsthand.
These islands must not have bears if they're just saying pitch a tent.
I don't know because, like, low key, I was reading about camping because there is a campsite, and when you get to like um, when you get to right here, it says free walk-in tent campground is located at Bartlett Cove. You must register for a site at the visitor center. Wheelbarrows are available to help haul gear between the visitor center, dock, and campground. Drinking water is available near the VIS. I assume that's visitor center. That's what I keep saying. And then they have the rules because right here it says like store all food in scented items in the like bear proof places. Cook in the cooking zone. Dispose of trash in the appropriate bins. So
Oh, maybe they do. I
um,
mean, I would assume so, even on the islands, because like you mentioned it when you were reading it, but like the tides up there are massive. I mean, you're looking at 25-foot difference. And
that's huge.
so, oh, oh, it's way huge. And so you get low tide, they're mud flaps, and that's an easy walk for a critter. So I wouldn't be surprised if they hop island to island, pending for food and stuff. So,
Right. Well, I
um,
mean, I've seen bears on the like when we were talking earlier about that Young Life Malibu when we took that second ferry, there was a lot of uh bears like on the coast, like in the rocks and stuff. So
oh yeah.
and didn't they say like the Kodiak bear, that's how it got to Kodiak Island was like it swam?
I don't know the story of the Kodiak bear, but it is something like that. They got there and now that's the only place to get them.
That's where the sea wolves, right? Didn't they swim out to there?
They might be, yeah, the ones on Vancouver Island.
I think so. Um, there's even moose in the area, which I'm like low key Alaska, right? You're going to these parks. More afraid of a moose or a bear,
Moose.
right? They don't give no
Yeah.
fucks. Bears are like,
Yeah.
I don't want to mess with that guy. Like he's too loud. There's something off
Hmm.
about that human. Moose are like,
Yeah.
nah, this is
No,
my
moose will
territory.
fuck you up. Yeah. Yeah.
Did you
For
ever see
sure.
that one that got into Anchorage like hospital?
No.
There was like a yearling because he was a younger one walked into like the emergency room, like through the gates, and like they're sitting there trying to like push him out. Like with like they have
No.
like the couches and like there's people like, come on, get out of here.
Oh my gosh, no. That would not be good.
Right. I
But I saw this the other day, and I've been meaning to bring it up. We'll get back to Glacier Bay in a
oh,
second,
you're
but I
fine.
gotta ask you, which would you, or for $100,000, which animal do you think you could last 20 minutes in a fight in? You have four options. Option number one, a bear. Option two, a tiger. Option three, a hippopotamus.
No.
Or option number four, an alligator.
An alligator or a bear.
I'm
Uh
going the alligator because I think I could get on the alligator's back
yeah.
and then I could ride out the 20 minutes.
Well, and they do like wrestle gators, back in the day.
Yeah.
Um, and they still do. Go down to the bayou, you'll see them gator
Yeah.
wrestlers. Go to
Yeah.
go to Reptile Gardens in South Dakota. Don't even have to go that far.
Yeah. There you go.
Show. No, but a bear. The only reason I'd say bear is like the next one is because I think with a bear you can you people survive that one. Like a bear attack. They have.
Yeah.
You're
I
not
think
gonna
I would
look
go.
pretty.
Yeah. I think I would go with the bear second too. Just because, again, I think I could get to the point where I might be able to get on its back.
Right.
And if I get on the back of a bear, I think I stand a better option than the back of a tiger.
Oh, a
Um,
tiger's gonna maul you like it's a cat.
yeah.
Dead.
Well,
And then the
I don't like,
hippopotamus
yeah.
is the worst. Like they'll kill you
Well,
with it.
yeah, yeah. That's a In this scenario, I don't even think I can get close to the back on a hippo. I think I'm dead toast.
Um, back to Glacier Bay, however,
Yeah,
if
yeah, we should.
if you're looking at informational brochures, you go to the website, they got brochures and maps. You can click on the different maps, but they also have the informational brochures. That's where I saw the fair weather. They also have a deer kayaker slash camper for helpful information and trip planning. Dear student, helpful information for class reports and research. So if you're doing a research report, go check that out. Gustav's Wildlife Viewing Guide, where the wild things are. Human history of Glacier Bay, place names of the Hunakau, Kaawu, learn the ancient names, so the real names of these places, the native names. The geology in action. So we all know there's a lot of geologists with glaciers. They like the rocks, they like the ice. A lot to learn. Climate change in Glacier Bay, which I think would be really interested to learn because there's a lot when you talk to people in Alaska, which is funny because people have tried to make climate change like a party issue. Well, Alaska is a very traditional red state, and you get to like climate change up there. You talk to anyone, they're like, hell yeah, our winters are way different. Like we're getting snow when we shouldn't get snow, and we're getting rain, and we're getting this, and like
Mhm.
they've addressed it. Like the North Pole, that northern area of the world is really experiencing that change. I mean, fuck, it's 50 degrees on December 29th here in Wolf Point, Montana. Like that's
Yeah, it's like
crazy.
60 here. No, but the climate change part is real. I just saw a fact 11% of the glaciers have receded since the 1950s.
Oh wow,
Um, so I think it was like 65 miles or something like that of glaciers gone. Um,
that's
so
wild.
I mean that's very real. Climate change is going to catch up for sure at some point if we don't do anything, but that's a very different conversation, and we're here to more talk about wanting to go to Glacier Bay because I think Glacier Bay is going to be a lot of fun.
I do too, and it's definitely one that's on my list. It's been on my list. And looking at this, I clicked on that Gustav's wildlife viewing. He actually lists some sites, and it looks like these are sites that are easy to get to for people going up to the park. Um, the Bartlett Cove, the Beardsley Islands is on there, day boat tours, Gustav's Dock, Icy Strait, but it lists actually places where like, you know, the Dude Creek Critical Habitat Area is one of the largest expanses of undisturbed wet meadow habitat in Southeast Alaska. It's good for cranes and what, so it tells you kind of what's all there, the different animals you can see. I see the like
And that's on the national parks website.
yeah, you just under the maps when you go look at the maps, there's even checklists for animals and whatnot as well. So you can do your checklist,
Nice.
which is always fun to do when you're in the park, especially if you have kids. And then the places to go. I like clicking on that. I mean, really, the national parks, man, they do
I
good.
think that's
Good work.
the spot. They should always check out the website for the national parks website first, because you'll learn a lot from that, and then seek out your other people.
Right.
Hopefully it's us that you guys are seeking out, but whoever you go to for your information, start at the national parks and then move to that next source. Just because you can get a lot of questions answered from the parks website.
And that's something I really wish we would have done sooner in our journeys. I think,
Yeah.
especially when we did our like 12 days and 12 parks trip, like that, like stuff like that, where it's like if we would have really dug into some of these websites, we would have been able to have some more knowledge. But you're young, you're dumb. That's how it goes. Um,
Yep.
and you like to experience things on the fly too, which is fun. And I do think I'm trying to think of like what parks we'll be going to soon. Like new like if we go down to like Florida, I think I really would dive into like those parks. Alaska, dive into these maps because like they do give you a
Yeah.
lot of information. Like and they give you the safety tips, the oh you need to have this, oh you need to have that. So
Mhm.
It is what it
No,
is.
very true. But no, we are running out of time. It is another wonderful episode of the ABCs of national parks, with Glacier Bay being today's. So there'll be more. I mean, we're still only on G, so hopefully, the next one's going to be a good one. Um, so stick around for that one. But we got to move on to our final words. So, final words, my guy.
I mean, there's like 60 some national parks. My book says 59. It's out of date, but it's the 100th year anniversary, so I had to get the book. But definitely, this is on the list when you look at like Alaska. I think all the Alaska parks are pretty high on my list. It's just getting up there and really spending the time and money. Money, we need money to do it. That's the problem.
Yeah.
So you really can't do it all unless you have it all, which like not all of us have, but that's fine. I would love to go and spend weeks in these places, especially like a Glacier Bay. That's where you can get into like working in the parks. You know, if you really wanted to work and jump from park to park and spend your 6 months here, your 8 months there, I think that's the best way to see these parks, especially the Alaska ones, the hard to reach ones. When you talk about national parks, you know, whether it is you're just doing a 6 month stint or a year stint in these places, definitely worth it to do. But until next time, everybody.
Yeah, no, 100%. Reverend's final words was stay beautiful, everyone. Can't tell you how much I appreciate every single one of you for listening all the way through. Glacier Bay is definitely on the old list. Speaking of list, I mean, I know we got Africa coming up, but I'm already thinking of what to do this summer, ideally close by. And thankfully, I just recently got a book for the 100 bike rides of a lifetime.
Ooh.
Um, Fun fact, I've already done like three of them.
I was gonna ask. I was gonna ask.
Yeah, there's like three of them I've done. But
97 more to
there's
go.
yeah, there's two on here that are relatively close to me that I really want to do. So my guess is I'll pick one of those and move forward. Uh, that one, it's either north or south, not a whole lot of east west in deciding those. But yeah, thanks everyone for listening. Like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. And with that being said, peace out, everybody.
Bye.